Hey, I'm Alex and I've been teaching English online for over 7 years. I focus on idioms, slang, phrasal verbs and conversational English, as well as the real English that nobody else teaches you and that actually gets used in England, in the UK and globally by native English speakers every day. I'm from near London and I was once upon a time focusing very hard on learning Chinese and focused on learning the Chinese that Chinese people actually use, and I found that I couldn't find any good resources to really focus on the language that Chinese native speakers actually use. So I imagine there's lots of people studying English that really want to learn the actual English that a lot of English people and other native English speakers use. And if that sounds like you, this video has been made for you. Okay, so this video is all about British English expressions and how to use them. So we have 50, we're going to fly through them. And so with no further ado, let's begin. So the first one is all right. And this means how are you or what's up. And it's basically just a greeting. It's basically a hello. So you can see an example here is, all right, how's your day going? And if you have time, why don't you try and use this now while you're watching this video? Also, if you want this worksheet, I've put a link in the description below where you can download it. So you can watch the video, you can use the worksheets, and you'll know these expressions in no time. Top tip, don't actually respond with how you're feeling if somebody says this to you. It's more just a hello rather than a how are you actually feeling, okay? Number 2 is cheers. And cheers can mean thank you or it can mean goodbye. Cheers. Cheers. And you may know that when people drink, they also say cheers and ching their glass together. Okay, number 3 is mate. Mate. This just means friend. It's an informal expression for friend. All of these expressions are informal. For example, hey mate, how's it going? Number 4 is sorted. Sorted. And this is a way to say that something has been taken care of. It's finished. Thanks for helping me out. Everything's sorted now. Number 5 is dodgy. Dodgy. And if something is dodgy, it looks suspicious or unreliable. For example, I don't trust that guy. He seems a bit dodgy to me. Number 6 is wicked. And this is a way to say that something is cool or awesome. For example, that concert was wicked. I had a great time. 7 is mug. And this is a British term for a fool or an easy target. Don't be a mug. He's just trying to take advantage of you. This is also used in a derogatory sense, as in, don't do that, you mug. It basically means idiot. Number 8 is jammy. Jammy. And this basically means lucky. It's an informal way to say lucky. You always were jammy when it came to competitions. Number 9 is porkies. Porkies. And this means to tell a lie or to be dishonest. And it basically just means a white lie, which is like a lie that's not so serious. You're not completely lying to someone, but you're fibbing. You're telling a little lie, which is also not that great. For example, I think he's telling porkies about where he was last night. 10 is chinwag. Chinwag. And this means to have a chat or a gossip with someone. For example, I haven't seen you in ages. Let's get together for a chinwag. Okay, and so now we move on to 11. 11 is kerfuffle. kerfuffle. And kerfuffle means a commotion or fuss about something. Commotion or fuss about something. And for example, there was a bit of a kerfuffle when the cat got stuck up the tree. It just means there's people having a bit of a conversation, they're trying to figure out something, maybe a problem has occurred, you could say it's a bit of kerfuffle. 12 is knackered, a very common one, and this means to be very tired or exhausted. For example, I'm absolutely knackered after that long walk. I need to sit down. Loo, also very common. It's a British term for a toilet or a bathroom. Excuse me, where's the loo? You'll hear British people saying this all the time. Number 14 is miffed. Miffed. And this means to be annoyed or upset about something. I was really miffed when I found out I didn't get the job. 15 is gobsmacked. Gobsmacked. And this means surprised or shocked. For example, I was absolutely gobsmacked when I heard the news. 16 is gutted. Gutted. And this means to be very disappointed or upset about something. I'm absolutely gutted that I didn't get the job. 17 is codswallop. And this phrase is used to indicate that something is nonsense or untrue. It's a little bit like another one, like bull. For example, I don't believe a word of it. It's all codswallop. 18 is bloke, and this just means man. For example, who's that bloke over there? 19 is quid. Quid. And this just means £1 British. £1 British. It's roughly the equivalent of $1.5, maybe, something like that, $1.6, something like that. For example, you still owe me a quid, mate. 20 is daft. Daft just means silly. It's a synonym of silly, but it's more informal. For example, just grow up. Stop being daft. Okay, so all of these expressions are 2 words in length. They're all still informal British expressions. Bloody hell. This is a way to express surprise or shock, and it's a little bit rude. Some people would consider this a swear word. Bloody hell. Bloody hell, that was close. 22 is flog it. Flog it. And this means to sell it. It just means sell, but it's informal. For example, I'm going to flog my old bike. I don't use it anymore. 23 is easy peasy. Easy peasy. And this is just another way to say that something is easy. This is very common and almost idiomatic. For example, don't worry about the homework. It's easy peasy. Okay, 24 is you what? You what? And this is a way to ask someone to repeat themselves because you didn't hear them. For example, I didn't catch that. You what? It's also kind of aggressive and would maybe be said before a fight. 25, bee's knees. This phrase is used to describe something that is excellent or outstanding. For example, that cake was the bee's knees. It was delicious. 26, bog standard. Is the opposite of the bee's knees. And this is used to describe something that is basic or unremarkable. For example, I don't need anything fancy. Just a bog standard car will do. 27 is brassed off. And this means to be fed up or annoyed about something. For example, I'm brassed off with all this rain. I wish it would stop. 28 is cheeky monkey. And if someone is a cheeky monkey, they are usually being mischievous or impudent. They're messing around. For example, Stop being a cheeky monkey and do as you're told. My class are a bunch of cheeky monkeys when I was a teacher in a school. 29, cock up. And if you cock up, this means to make a mistake or to mess something up. For example, I've really cocked up this time. I don't know how to fix it. And 30 is a phrase which is used to describe a party or a social gathering, and it is to have a knees up. To have a knees up. And an example is, we're having a knees up at the pub tonight. Do you want to come? Cool. So now we're on to 31. We're still on informal British expressions, and they're all 2 words in length.